Anyways, so the beginning part is Kevin's section.
That's a nice manual, dude.
Yeah, indeed. This is now smiley faces, H smiley faces part.
I don't even know what cafes people do.
Of course, it's not surprising because well, this is Reddit. Yeah. Oh, here's me.
Wait.
Wow.
This is before we included. This is before we included like before they allowed the ability to use multipliers. Yes. But
Bro, this is the pinnacle of track making.
I think it was Melody that made the whole thing kind of like require multipliers, or I forgot who exactly made that happen.
I think we just passed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just passed it, but I have no clue.
Okay, iPad. All of iPad's part is like scenery. All of it's like scenery.
This is all scenery by Gavin. Yeah.
Imagine using lines.
Yeah, personally, this is my favorite part. Gavin's part.
This is Fozon's part. Honestly, kind of.
That's nice.
Wow. and then you got thrown a Giorgio. Why can't you throw a Giorgio? And then Sheldon's part. This is a throwback to. This is a throwback to.
Oh yeah.
Dog.
Isn't this monumental?
Who are the four
This is the throwback to Monumental, yes. And then this is.
Now it's Boschmore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
my God,
Yeah,
it's
this
wacky.
is Hanuman. This is Hanuman's part and mine. Because I.
I forgot we made that shit.
Yeah, I did text. Next
Who are
part,
the people in it?
Next part is
The devs.
Yeah, I'll explain the devs in a bit. This is Professor Renderer. Wow, that was a real nice. Okay, now this is Toybo's. You can tell just the quality just goes 20 times
Jesus.
higher.
Yeah, I just got blown out of the water after toy boxes.
Yeah, there's like, okay, Anton, and then just Anton brings it back down to Earth with just like a gigantic Archimedes spiral.
This is a centrism.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, bro.
It's just circles.
Okay, this is Jealous. This is Noah's part, and then now that was over, so now this is Nev's part.
Why is this part so short?
Jason is the only person that had a really short part, and the reason why is because that he didn't have any time to finish up his part, so he just passed it down. This is Mr. Blue Sky's section. Oh, hello. So yeah, you can tell this is Mr. Blue Sky's section based on the very minimalistic quirk style Blue Flame section.
Who?
Oh. Well, yeah.
Roasted.
And Shitoku. Gotta have the smiley flings. The manuals and then shiny section, which is just like it's good stuff. Shiny section is good stuff.
Man, this crab has just got better and better as it gone along.
Well, yeah, but it degrades afterwards. Also, this is Matt's part.
How long is this bitch?
And then it's just like, hey, why not? Here's my section.
Oh god.
Bro, did you just copy that from WTK?
No, I didn't. This is literally that's like the section just earlier was indeed copy pasted though with the Wiggly section. KGG
Oh
section.
god, it's all green.
It's all green. And then this is where it just degrades slightly. This is where it degrades a bit.
Yeah,
this is
I
where it
can agree with
degrades.
that.
So this is Pizza Pepperonald.
And then there's me.
Yeah, Pepperonald. Yeah, and that's Kabusha's section.
I'm so sorry.
And then this is the Melisma section, starting with 10-point cannons and stuff, the little bit of scenery, which is very cool. And here is my final section.
You have to ask, why is there just a guitar there?
It makes sense for the song.
Okay,
I
haven't listened to the song, so I have no idea what it's supposed to be.
And that is the ending.
That's a good end, though.
That's the end to the Reddit collaboration.
It's a very nice end.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you copy pasted all our things?
What do you mean? No, this is actually right in the same section. If I go back.
No, like all of our,
you meant the name.
Like the signatures.
Also, yes, I just took all of
yeah, there's my signature because I got copy pasted over that one section. It looks like I can't even see it from after as soon as the collaborators are finished.
Bro, I didn't even know I had
Because it's so
it.
small. Mine's just so small.
So
like,
small.
not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, everybody's actually. Okay.
I'll go. Why is Fo's signature just like 5 lines?
I accidentally copied iPi.
Yeah, I like how the Melisma, Mathol, and iPi just all look exactly the same.
Like, it's basically the same size circle. Like,
Yeah, it's literally the same size circle. Like, they actually no.
A lot of circles in this bitch.
Melisma had the same type of circle, but Matt had like a different circle size. So just to explain who is who here, this is Fisk, who is the original creator of Line Matter. The next person to the right of him is Conundrumer. To the right of him is Mehenner. To the right of him is JC, and then wait, no, that's Kevin. Sorry. To the right of Kevin's is JC. So these are all the developers of Line Miner, basically. I am. This is seriously a really big collaboration. Did this run across like the entirety of last year and into like mid this year? I forgot how long this track took.
Almost a year and a half.
Almost a year and a half, fair.
Wow, that's pretty long.
Yeah, it is really long. So this was the recording's probably gonna cut here, for the main video, but this part will probably be coming for Hyman's channel, where we do a full track talk on each section. So now we can just we can slowly do each individual. We can slowly start breaking down things. So let's turn on the other stuff. Oh my god. But yeah. Anyways,
I know hit.
I'll be keeping the audio off for obvious reasons, because there are actually a lot of copyright issues that I don't think Hahnemann wants to run into when uploading the video, so
It's for the better.
it's for the better.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Yeah, valid. So, this section, yeah, you can see that everything was done without any multipliers or anything. My part was trash.
Because no multipliers.
Well, I could do it with even without multipliers. It's just that I just didn't have knowledge. Cough, cough. Look how trash this is. It's just a jumbled mess, just to barely fling him in one direction. Shoulder fling, yada yada yada, or shoulder chain. Sorry. Flings that across. There. Is this actually done? That's actually part of the trip. Wow, okay, sure. So yeah, and then I ended my part in a no row section. Melody did this section where it's a lot of flings, chains, and I guess like old school work.
When you want.
But yeah, you can see right here, this is using a multiplier, and that was that was kind of the seal in the coffin for people who want to work on a track in other versions outside of LRA. Here's iPie. And unsurprisingly, iPie. Oh, there goes Hanuman. But yeah, you can see iPie is just like a little perfectionist. There's that section. There's a granule.
Oh, how much the quality just changes between every single part. It's not like...
It is a huge change between everybody, because this is a collab. Like, you can see how, like, this went from, like, perfectionist to, like, more of a...
Ultra perfectionist?
The ultra perfectionist to just, like, to more of a casual section, with lots of manuals, kind of, like, abstract, style.
There's a lot of Gypsy, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, it
a lot
does
like
actually
Gypsy.
look like Gypsy, yeah.
Especially that no rotation manual right there.
Yep,
it's nice.
Double no row.
Double no row.
Last time I saw a no-row
That was
manual was Sinner.
Sinner. Oh god. So this is a cramule, a single frame cramule. Just pop them out so you don't even notice that actually happens. Bounces, hits the wall. That's fine.
Flashback to Taro for the scenery manuals.
Oh boy. And granules. In a Fozon section, surprisingly, like, it's like really, like, this is like predating, I guess this kind of predates, Mr. Blue Sky's kind of like career. So this is actually really cool. This is a pretty cool section. Also, yes, this is like Giorgio. A really slow Giorgio at that, because you rarely get it at this type of speed. But anyways, continuing on. Yep, there. And then that was an unintentional hit, but it's fine.
Hang on.
And then we drop down into Sheldon's part, and this section was made before, the idea of, like, reusing an older track in a completely different, in like a different fashion was kind of, I think this was done before, yeah, this was done before, OTD's track, which was...
Wait, so the scenery part's from another track?
This is from Monumental. I forgot what OTD used, but he used another Tech Dog track and reused. I think it was Transcendental. Yeah, this is Monumental though.
It's great scenery though.
It is really awesome scenery by Tech Dog.
First, I thought that was a little hand.
Well, this is.
It is hand done.
This is hand done. This is made back in Flash. So.
Oh.
Honestly, like this era
No,
of
I mean, like,
scenery is like
remade.
my favorite.
It is one of my most favorites. One of my most favorite eras in the live art community. Sure, it's it's so much work, and it's like, and the thing about it is that unlike Quirk, the amount of work that you put into this is kind of
like you can actually use it more.
Like people can actually understand it a lot better than than say Quirk, because like Quirk, yeah, it's very complicated, very cool, but scenery is kind of where both people from the outside and inside can like appreciate.
You don't need to understand the line ride to understand the scenery.
Yes, exactly. You don't have to understand line ride Quirkology.
Both experts and beginner alike.
Yes.
Alright.
And then after that section, oh yeah, I should actually mention what comes before this. So this section here, the reason why Sheldon had like this section and Hanuman had the next section was because we had a maximum of around 15 seconds to fit a specific time frame, and the thing is that this entire section is way too long to fit in 15 seconds. So what they did was that Hanuman and Sheldon decided to group together and decide to come up with this one plan to recycle this entire section from Monumental. And that's why you see Sheldon over there and Hanman all the way over here. I came in midway through for this, so my name's a little bit smaller, yeah. But the reason why I did the reason why I got a part in this is because Hanman and Sheldon did all the scenery stuff and things with LR overlay and stuff like that. This was actually done by me. This section right here was actually hand done by me, and you can tell that because LR overlay doesn't accept these type of line thicknesses. So that was a bit. This took like about a few days. This took a few days to finish, but I was fine with it in the end.
Yeah, I remember that Sheldon and Hanneman asked Kevins if they could have the time together.
Yeah, if they could share the time.
Instead of 2 weeks, that they could have a month for this, but Kevins declined that, I think.
Yeah. So what they did instead was that they combined parts, so that what would happen was that Sheldon would like do the first 2 weeks and then what was it? And then Hanneman would do the next 2 weeks. Also, Matt, you were a bit late. The whole call was already ended. You're now part of the track talk section of this, which is going on Hanneman's channel.
Okay.
Alright. So, I should probably explain myself for this one.
Yeah, you should probably explain yourself for this one. So, let's begin with this section.
So, what I was trying to do was, I was trying to just follow the lyrics, and that was the best I could really do. And I was going for, like, this was my first actual project that I've done, and I never paid. I had trouble controlling Bosch's ability that everyone else did. So I had like the very basic understanding, like chains and all that.
And stuff like that, yeah.
And
I mean, hey, at least you did you have fun doing it though?
Yeah, that's the best part of it. But I kind of like did a sort of like quote unquote falling to the beat kind of thing, but it's not like actually falling to the beat. It's just because it's mostly my excuse to say that I cannot control Bosch to the ability like everyone else can.
That's valid. Yeah.
It was the same
that's
for
totally
me.
fine. That's totally fine. Again, this collab was built with the intention of let everybody come in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just happened to be coincidentally right after your part comes Toivo with like extraordinary like. I still
And like
it's like what the hell?
He always has to go all in.
like I said, yeah, I got blown out of the water from Toivo because come on, dude, that's nuts.
It's so nuts. This man is insane.
Yeah.
You don't get stuff like this on an everyday basis.
Yeah, like
I'm not gonna.
What was that?
Honestly, I'm not gonna.
What was
even,
that?
What?
It looked like he was in between the lines.
Here, yeah.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's another chain. I'm pretty sure this chain was actually used in Taro as well. A lot of these things that you see here were eventually used in Taro, probably.
Oh.
But the thing is that you just simply connect the lines together, so you actually become a smooth line. Oh god, what is that?
I can imagine.
That's actually a really cool looking fling. I actually kind of want to try that eventually. It doesn't look too. It actually doesn't look that bad either. It doesn't look too awful either. Yeah, it doesn't look too awful. It's just a really really cool aesthetical effect of having the line bigger. That actually makes this look extremely cool. Like holy crap, look Look at that. Wow.
Fakey not fakey. Fakey not fakey.
Fakey not fakey. Yeah, this was a manual that was discovered in a by iPi in Falling to the Beat, which was, I think it was like a ultra pressured tail manual, and it was kind of bizarre because like his hands would like be forced out and they couldn't go back in. And then after this section there was another just more fakey, and then after that
What a man.
yeah, just Toivo man, Toivo's insane. And then after this section comes the singularity.
And then there's Anton.
Yep, the singularity kind of just indicates this is Anton's part coming up.
I can always see it. You
It was
just
such detailed scenery.
Yes, so detailed. And then this was this Archimedes spiral was, I believe, created by a macro system. I forgot what he used, but he talked about how you can make like Archimedes spirals in the past, and this was using one of the programs that he had. So that was actually really cool.
Why is every line already creator a programmer?
Not always, but I mean like, well, well, I wouldn't say that Anton is programmer. He just like found a program to use. So, wow, that narrowly avoids the actual.
Okay, so next part, Noah.
Yeah, and that's the end.
That was Noah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, yeah.
Like, that was it. Just like
Just that section. Just that section. That was it.
Okay.
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I felt bad for Noah for only having a 2-second.
Did he do all of the scenery, or who did the scenery?
No,
here?
I did.
You did the scenery
I did.
here. Jesus.
I
Okay.
I was like, I felt bad for him, so I gave him
You just gave
a
him
little
a
bit
bit of scenery. Fair enough.
Oh,
I gave him a
did
bit of
see that.
action, and it fell into my part. So.
It just fell into your part. Fair
Oh,
enough.
I thought Noah got a longer part because, you know, he created Light and Rider Advanced.
Well, at the same time, that kind of makes sense because he's the developer. Because he's a developer, he's kind of always having a busy life and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I was glad that he broke out of that variable. Because at the time I didn't know how to
How to break
Just-
out granules.
how
I like how you say that as you proceed to go bring him into a granule and then pop him out. The very
yeah.
next moment.
Did it work? No, it's
that
not.
was just to slow him down.
Slow him down. Also, Tempo Cannon. Yeet!
Pinpoint.
You know what? Was that the first ever Tempo Cannon in its entire track? No, wait, no, I had a Tempo Cannon.
No, you.
You had one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow. Forgets own 10
I
point
mean, it's
cap.
definitely not the last.
It's definitely not the last either. No. Also, oh Jesus. Hey, look, there's a singularity.
There's a singularity that doesn't look like singularity.
Hell yeah.
It's a nice man. Yeah, well.
Anyways, continuing on.
And my time was up.
Oh,
That was a nice
and
chain.
Hey, look, there's a Haniel.
Oh,
Yeah.
flashbacks to Snowman?
Oh, yeah.
Is that it, right? That's the
Get
trap.
pooped. And then Mr. Blue Sky section, dedicated to the gambling.
Those blue only.
I really like this.
Yeah,
This
those are all
piece.
blue. Those are all blue.
It changes position so quickly, and it so matches like the vibe of the music.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it did.
I wanna applaud.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, that was really smooth. I actually love that one. I love that bit.
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
was.
That was really good.
I also approve of that section.
It looks more like a glitch than it does like a trick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pushed back, goes across, yeet, 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 X, Y, cool. It starts off as X, Y, and it just degrades.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there goes Hanuman. So, there you go. And then this section is blue, this is, blue section. Temple Cannon teleportation, da-da-da-da, yeet. Goes across, has this little section.
Boop.
At the time, I didn't know how to make like cranial curves, and when I saw this one, I was like, "What the fuck? How do they do that?"
Cranial rookie. Shotoku section. I forgot who made the 10-point cannon. I'm pretty sure it's Blue Flames that did the 10-point cannon, and then Shotoku just added to this. So then he had the spiral. They added the spiral chain.
For literally no reason, I'm shit.
We're gonna be again.
Sorry, my mom came in. This time not as interruptive, more just like she gave me snacks. So yay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
nice.
At least that's
Good
nice.
interruption.
It's a good interruption.
Moms at least try to be nice, and they try. I appreciate that.
Yeah, not my mom.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's no.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it doesn't go well. So yeah, that's an interesting ASDF. So yeah, fling across the shoulder. Whoop. Goes across, and then shiny with the really powerful chains.
Which fit the music perfectly.
Yeah, indeed. And then this is when I started teaching him how to enter a cranial. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, because he had this issue where he was saying that it was very the angle was way too horizontal for normal cases. But oh Jesus, Flutter to flip, just go full on. Also, that actually flips him over. That's actually interesting. And then flips across. That's a really weird look.
Cool trick.
That's kind of cool though. I actually like that.
A cranial.
Interesting slowdown.
Everyone is getting ideas for his next track.
Also, that's actually a really cool way to save him in a cranial. I'm assuming if I remove this, he dies. There, and then the next section is Matt's.
Yay.
Basically just did a 10-point cannon or singularity to every piece.
Yep.
And then for this part where you go up, I forgot what the word was. It was like empty or something.
What?
And then
airtime?
Yeah, it was airtime for something like empty, and then just singularity. Just whatever.
I like that.
Exactly 4 minutes.
Yo, that looks cool actually, that part right there.
Yeah, it is very cool. I do love me some blue technic cannons. Anyways, next section.
No, please, no.
Let's not
You
talk
had
about
to
it.
do this. You had to like.
Let's not talk about it, please.
Were those like 10-point cranials?
Yes, those are 10-point cranials. So let me just break this down more in depth because it's a bit confusing. So
Yes, please.
Cranials.
So I start off my part by forcing him into a chain. I was actually going to continue the chain, but then I was like, hey, this is a perfect time for a cranial. And then I just stuck to that. I used
Each frame, this is a perfect time for a cranial.
No, it's not.
This is using horizontal multi-lining. I've done this before in the past. It's not that surprising. There you go, and then saving. There's a cranial. This is a cranial spin, and then I did a cranial. What is it? Oh, whatever.
10-point cranial.
Yeah, it's more dotted cranial, but yeah. And that was just in sending downwards, and then I did another 10-point cranial, or dotted cranial over there. Then I did a cram curve into a spiral, and then I forced.
Oh yeah, what is that? What are all those dots?
This is the dotted cranial, but as a cannon. So send him over there, did the chain here, sent him down, sent him across, sent him here, sent him to spin, stopped him, forced him into this cranial cannon, which sent him back upwards to the right. Then sent him down again, and then I sent him.
You recycled it?
I recycled the cranial cannon.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. So I sent him down there, and then there, and then recycled the cranial cannon, yeeted across, then another then a dotted cranial cannon, and then I accidentally recycled this section from the previous section.
That's the biggest accidental flag as ever.
And then I sent him here, accelerated into a 45-degree rotationary cranial. This section right here is actually a throwback to a section in WTK2 where he just bounces around back and forth while doing a 45-degree cram spin. It was ridiculous at the time. Of course, these are all multi-line stacking, as you can see. It's just horizontal stacking. Sent him into here, made sure that he survived. And then this was an interesting section. He doesn't actually touch this line here. It looks like it gets very close, but it doesn't actually touch him. It's just so that I can match the velocity of it. Then I made sure that I contacted this line, which stops his momentum immediately. Then he hits the line again and then sends him back, but then he touches this line and then it stops his momentum, sends him back. So it's like every 2 frames he stays in one section. And this was deliberately done to match the drum section.
Don't have too much.
Copyright
strike.
Enough, Reggie.
But yeah, this is a dotted cranial, which goes into a regular cranial cannon. That's a cranial, and there's the chain. Then throws him into this section. Ah, yes, I like when my acceleration lines pointed in opposite directions. Just do that. Force him over to there. Touches.
Is there unicornial in this?
I have no clue. I don't think so. No.
SMH.
I like the paraboloid.
Paraboloid. That's a paraboloid, yes.
I have to calculate.
I guess Dutch has a bit of a different system.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it is a natural parabolic shape because it's if you take physics, do all that stuff, just imagine.
Yeah, just rotate.
It's just like think about gravity when you throw something into the air produces a parabola because force of gravity thingamajiggy. In this case, I'm just using the same amount of force to send them in a specific direction. That's how parabolas work.
Oh yeah. And the x-axis is for time.
Yeah, I guess. And then I did a cranial curve, two parallel, basically two cranial curves just right next to each other. Did it in a 45-degree, forced him in through a dotted cranial, then forced him to another dotted cranial, which became a regular cranial, and then sent him upwards through everything. Sent it here, made a copy-paste thing, well, not copy-paste, but no row. Angled no row there. Oh, this is where the fun part begins. So, let me explain how this works.
The past section wasn't fun enough for you.
Are gonna be like, I'm only using 10% of my power.
Yeah.
It's like Shaggy.
The line rider version of Shaggy.
This is deliberately done just so that I could flex on both Matt and Mr. Blue Sky, the number of template cannons that I had in my part. And I just it just went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not even 1, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 of them. 7. Sorry. There's only 7 of them in this section, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It just goes on. So yeah, let's explain how this works. So what I did was that I made it so that I first made the 10-point cannon like this, and I made it as weak as I could possibly get it to be. And then what I did was that I zoomed in like this.
I see.
And then I actually what I did is I delete this, zoom in. I zoom into around here-ish. I fix up. I make sure the camera is fixed. Undo the action, and then now the Bosch is moved slightly, so I can now highlight this. And then he gets sent upwards. So now I've created another one here. So this one's another one here. Again, move ever so slightly. If I delete this, do this. And what I did here was that I moved this section, I copied it, and then moved it to here. Copy-pasted the other 10-point cannon over here. So in that way, that I now have these two different granules, which is why you can see how like there's like two different types of acceleration lines. Some of them go up, some of them go down. These. That's how I tiled them together, and then I just copy paste it, and it just works.
What? Yeah. What actually?
10% power.
I used 10% power. That's about it. So essentially, all I need to do is those. There were only two states in the camera position, and that was it. That's all I need to know.
You need to make a track name 100 where you use 100% of it.
Using 100% of my power. Good luck.
That would probably kill us.
That would probably kill you guys. Yeah. Like, oh my god. Okay, 100% of my power would basically be ultra glitch core using only manuals, and the whole thing is seeded heavily.
I can also imagine.
You should do that.
No, I'm not going to do that. Also, this is it doesn't look like much because you can't really see what's going on, but this is indeed actually a vibrating manual. A vibrating cramule, sorry, so it does this, but I put the lines so closely together you can't even tell that's actually happening. But you definitely can tell it is happening though. You can't tell that it's happening visually, but you can tell that it's having an effect on Bosch, because Bosch does not slow this down by gravity this quickly.
What if we call it an Oscillio?
But yeah, here I sent it out. It goes here, goes down, slams him into this section, sends him upwards here, goes into the cramule, goes to the cramule spin, then into another cramule stacked, and then into another cramule spin, and then into a casual angled singularity, into there, and then pushed him into here, across, and then down into a dotted one, and then send him back into this one, send him back into this. Just casually send him back into this section, then send him over to here, send him into a singularity for no particular reason other than just to flip him. Then I sent him over to here, then I sent him around, started spinning him, then did a spin, and then out, and then I just continued spinning him outside the cramule position, and I slowed him down. I slowed his spinning down by just using only the tail. And then I stopped him, and then this is a section that hasn't. This is a new trick that I was going to reveal in Taro, and Sheldon actually wanted me to reveal it in Taro, but we never had a chance to do it. So this is known as a copy-paste manual, a copy-paste chain, a balance chain, where essentially what you do is, if I just delete this, and what I do here is that I will lock onto the butt. So I'll use variable contact with camera. Variable 4. There's the butt right there. I delete this, paste it, and then just keep pasting.
So like a temp stall with contact point juggling? Is it a temp stall with contact point juggling?
What do you mean as in contact point juggling?
Or like primal efficiency contact point juggling? Basically, like locking onto one point.
Essentially what this is doing is that all I'm doing here is that have it locked between 2 points. So then this contact point right here always make sure that it's always in this position. And the camera lock, the reason why I lock onto the butt is because I want the butt to always stay in the same position as well. So then by having this line being forced to always stay in the same position, the angle of the rider always stays the same, and he just automatically bounces. Because science. So yeah, that's how this section works. And then there's this section as well, which was just made fun. And then right, yay, KGG.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so explain your part, KGG.
Well, I thought I just wanted to match the vibe, and I just wanted to make it darker, and just do things with granules and a little bit of chains.
So yeah, if you haven't seen the original video, this is how it looks like.
Yeah.
It's just completely black, and it's just
mysterious vibes.
Mysterious vibes. So there you go. But now the mystery has been revealed. You can see that this is essentially just like another cranial section. Throws him there, sends it back. There's a chain. There's that. Oh yeah, I should probably turn off this. There we go. Send there. Do. Oh yeah. This is interesting. That was interesting. Yep, sends him out. It's that thingy. Does the spirally thingy, sends it there. That thingy flings him up. Ends up.
Which part is that?
This is still KGG section. Now it's piece of pepperonal. Which it just goes a bit bleh. But hey, again, this is built for this is a collab for everyone, so I'm not gonna shame. I won't be shaming anyone because I actually I love everybody's part and I love everybody's creativity because I would have never thought of like using actual hands and stuff like this to symbolize the kind of like style of the song. It's very interesting.
I don't like my.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I spent more time on like my logo, like of my name, than I did my actual part.
I actually do like it though, still in some areas, like this section where it's kind of like it's like this like interesting chain here.
I don't even remember why I did that or like what it.
I mean, would you like to talk about the entire ear section?
I don't really remember like why I did this stuff. This was like at the point where I was just like, oh, it works.
It works. Okay, let's
just go.
But you invent things so simple but so cool at the same time.
Also, like that is an interest. It's just 3 lines stacked on top of each other. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Melisma, would you like to talk about your part?
Sure. So at the time I was like, I knew how to make a 10-point cannon, so I was like, why not? And then I just got addicted for a little bit.
When you figure out how to do one technique and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this for like a minute.
Yeah. And then I made this.
If I knew how to do 10-point cannons, I would just shoot them all around the place and it just flax on everybody.
So I took a little inspiration from Tech Dog, or not, maybe. And I was gonna do the whole cliff, and then I realized how long that would take. So I kind of just stopped it there as a little Easter egg you fly by. And then more 10-point cannons. That's a drum.
That's the drum in the actual song.
And then there's a guitar that happens here.
Yeah, that was yep.
And then more 10-point cannon.
And then more 10-point cannon.
First thing I thought when I saw that cylinder was, I thought, what, is that a drum?
Is it a drum? And then there's a guitar. Yeah, that's a drum.
And that was my part, pretty much.
That was your part, pretty much, yeah. And then this is my part to finish things off. Luna was actually going to have this section where there used to be a 10-point cannon right here. Oop, 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 oop. Where's my section? Help. But yeah, this used to be a 10-point cannon over here. I actually deliberately made this curve so it goes up and to the right, so the camera it has Bosch up and to the right. Reason for this was because that this section where it had Luna's name here, I was going to teleport Bosch all the way over to here and make it like a seamless teleportation. I'll put a clip
You
on
did, didn't you? And then
I did
you
it,
scrapped
but then I scrapped it because Luna didn't want to. Luna just hated the song. she has she completely despises the song.
Come on, this is a good song.
It's all right, but not many people. A lot of people started not really liking it after a while.
What?
It's a good song, but if you listen to it
Too many
much,
times, it's just like it starts getting sick. It starts getting sickening.
I've got a weird, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm doing the skit right now with the song in
The
it.
more I listen to it, the more I genuinely like the song. That's the weird thing about me.
Huh. Well, look, it depends on which songs you're doing, really. Also, yes, enjoy a nice little random ballast.
We should.
Looks like
We
the one
should
in
call it
Asia.
Naruto.
This is not mutual.
Naruto.
Wait, what about a ritual?
Naruto.
Marucho. But yeah, this section was basically this was done using. I think these are 45-degree lines. For no particular reason at all. I just wanted to do it. So I forced him there, and then I started spinning him, and then I turned those into. I made the lines even bigger and bigger until they become a curve. Flick him. Yes, that's fine. I sent him into a what type of
Cannonball.
What type of chain did I do? I started off with I started off with just an inverted hand pull, but then I decided, hey, let's just add string in. The nose in. So now you just have this weird looking
Monkey. It's a monkey.
It's a monkey.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a dual thing.
And then dual chain. But after that I did I forgot what they're called. I forgot if they're called this in when you're playing a guitar, but it was I think it was like a trill. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I think it might be a good idea to do something like this. So what I did was that I actually did a previous line. I think this is called a PLU ASDF, where basically, yeah, it's an ASDF PLU. Aplastive. But to explain what that means, PLU means previous line used, meaning that when you have this line being used, you have in the next frame, the previous frame is actually being used, and it's not just like, yeah, there's just a casual thing, because I mean flat sled basically does that, but this is usually referring to more flings where it actually uses it's always a pattern for which line to use in this case.
Sometimes you can just do things all over again, always do the same thing, and you still know how to amaze us.
But okay. Now the ASDF section. ASDF means alternating single directional fling. And
bless my board.
When you say ASDF, I think I like trains.
Yes. Trains. But yeah, in this case, ASDF means that the alternating bit is that these are actually two separate flings. So you can see, if you focus on the string, if you focus on the hands, that is a hand fling right there. If you focus on the nose, that is a nose fling. So what essentially is happening is that it's first the string, then the nose, then hands, then the nose, then the hands, then the nose, and it just alternates back and forth. Single direction just means it goes in a single direction.
Wait, alternate string dual fling?
Alternating single direction fling.
Oh, okay.
So both of the flings are pulling in the same direction, so ASDF, and then it's just a fling. And then we do this thingy where it's just a spiral thing, and then I don't even know why I did this, but I just thought it was fun. And then this section, what happened was that I needed to build a lot of speed, so I just used multipliers for this on a chain, and it just flung Bosch really quickly. Wow. It was enough. It was enough for me to build. It was enough speed for me to build.
Let's go fling sound.
And then I spun him a bit, just so I can land him in this position, and then you can see how quickly he just accelerates in that direction. That's because of weird frictional mechanics that I won't really explain. Bosch goes fast. That's about it. And then I guess technically a balance chain that went into a spin, and then into an alternating fling, into an alt fling, which became a more powerful alt fling, and then another ASDF. This time a regular ASDF. This time is just a regular ASDF, where it's just alternating between the nose and the string. Enters this section, and of course I had to throw in this type of style right here, just as I did this deliberately as a throwback to cold corn. But yeah, this is a throwback to Corn Cold and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Which is it didn't take very long at all. And then threw that into there, spun him around, The reason why I did that was just so I could like make sure that he was going up and to the left, for reasons I'll explain later. So he would spin around, and then he gets thrown this way with just barely enough like clearance room to actually send him that way. And you'll notice that Bosch doesn't actually change location, even though he's obviously teleported.
Does that say 12,000 PF?
10,209 pixels per frame. Wow. Yeah, if I draw a line here, that's the amount of distance that you traveled in a single frame.
Wow.
So my part, I think, second fastest.
It would have been the third fastest if Luna took her part, but yes, your part is the second fastest.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go. Throws him there. In the final edited video, you don't actually get to see this right now because it's not finished editing yet because I had to use the chat and stuff like that in the commentaries. So this section right here, blah blah blah. This you wouldn't actually see this stuff here. This would actually be gone. You know what? I'll actually try to demonstrate. What if I try to I'm gonna try to demo this for you guys. So I'm gonna pretend that. Let's just pretend that these letters don't exist. Actually, I'll probably cut this out eventually. I'll cut this out in the video, in the track talk video, because this is actually gonna take some time, but it's fine. So
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So
dog and house on fire. Everything's fine.
Everything's just fine. So let me see if that's all fixed.
That's ocean.
So yeah, this is what you get to see in the final cut, basically. So you start seeing this, he just flings around casually, goes down, and then he hits this section, and like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you just like zoom out, and you just see, oh, there's text there. But yeah.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, it was
Redabora.
They did. So yeah, that is the full track, I think.
Wow.
Wow.
Yay.
So, yay. So.
Yay.
It has
Encore.
We'll wait for that for Reddit Collab 4. Encore will come
right after this ad break.
But
are we
yeah,
gonna do another obscenely long classic rock song?
We will probably do a Reddit Collab 4, but no, not the rock song. Because this is probably going to get copyright striked, and I'm going to have to actually the original video is going to be copyright striked, and I have to deal with legal issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Going to court.
No, not that type of legal issue. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that intense.
Yeah, no.
But yeah. Final thoughts and everything.
I don't like my.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we just can you redo my part real quick?
Okay, let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. Matt.
I don't like my part. I feel like it ruins the flow for that part.
Fair enough. Kahusha.
Honestly, my favorite part was Gavin's part. I don't know why, but it was just like it struck me good.
It struck you good. It struck you good. That sounds so wrong, but okay. Melissa.
Even with all the imperfections, I think this collab was pretty fun.
Indeed. Nebs? Oh, wait, sorry, Matt?
I have nothing to say except everybody did a good job, and I just love the entire community for what they are.
Nebs?
For reasons I will not explain, my part was 1 second off. That's it.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We do not speak of that.
Yes, I do. I will not say how, but I do. I will say that.
And Xavier says, "Hi YouTube." So yeah, there you go. That is the whole that is the Reddit collab 3.
Round of applause, everyone.
Hooray! Slappy noises. So, I'll be having this is part 1 technically for this. If you would like to take a look, this will probably be archived on Connor's channel. If it's not, then it's probably on my channel. If you would like to, and I know most people probably won't be interested, but if you want to just listen to me talk with other people while watching a track, you can go check out the second video, which is coming out, which I will be recording later in the evening, and it will be part of the live commentary. So, yeah, that should be it. I'm not gonna say goodbye in this recording to you as well. I will be saying goodbye in the evening. You'll probably see the. Okay, just a quick question right now. Would you guys want me to put both track talks into one video, into one video, or should I split it into 2 separate videos?
Why not?
Depends. How long is it?
Probably an hour each.
It's around an hour each. Yeah.
No, I think separate videos.
Make it a movie documentary.
Make it a movie documentary. This is a 2-hour-long documentary, Jesus. But yeah, that should sum up everything for... Yes. But yeah, anyways,
That's it for yes.
That's it for us. I'll see you in the, I'll see you guys in the second part. Yeah, I need to record the thing, there we go. So is it playing right now? I don't even know.
No, it's...
No.
Okay,
I have it in.
You
I have
got
it
to resume.
Hold up.
I added it in queue.
Wait, is this?
Wait,
I
is it
have
cute?
it
Is it
in-
cute?
Can somebody?
Bruh. Okay, you know what? I'll just hit play. I'll just hit play, alright?
3, 2, 1, go. What? Oh, okay, it works.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty
No, I put it in.
That's pretty close, actually.
It's pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's close.
Good.
It's close.
Good enough then. It's like perfect for me. Alright.
No,
So-
it's perfect.
It's perfect? Alright. So
Yeah,
this
we
is,
did
this
it.
is your part. Hooray. This is your part, each smiley face. Yep. Chains, flings. And then my part.
I can't
no, it's-
tell
it's
if it's
not-
perfect or if it's just really
No,
badly
no.
synced.
No, it's not perfect.
It's
Yeah,
not
no, it's a
perfect. It's
little
probably
off.
not. It's slightly off, but it's fine.
It's really close.
Just pretend that it's synced.
Alright.
Alright, so that was, I think that was actually Melody's part, so now it's iPie. Oh, and side note, of course, just try to talk as much as you can throughout this entire thing, because this is going to be live commentary. So
how's the weather?
Favorite part right here.
No.
Well, I mean,
I really like
I mean, in relation to the actual track itself, not just like how's the weather.
There are lines. They
There
are
are
good.
No, I really like the.
Wow, never thought the purple lines in Line Rider.
The blue lines are pretty nice, honestly.
That's great. And that was just Photon's section. This is now Sheldon's section.
This track.
This is a throwback to Monumental.
Monumental.
Yes.
Was this just copy pasted or was there?
It was quite literally copy pasted. Well, except for this section. Except for this section where.
How'd you get the transition into the manual though?
He just figured it out. He just figured it out. That's about
Luck.
it. Luck. Probably. I don't know. This is Professor Render's part.
I have actually nothing to say. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Toivo section.
And then there's just Toivo being Toivo.
Just Toivo being Toivo, yep.
Yeah.
And then, just to counteract that, here's Anton.
Anton be like,
It's a big spiral.
And Anton being Anton.
Just Anton being Anton, yep.
Oh, there's so many specific red lines, it's just circles.
Oh my god.
hey Nev, your heart thing.
What?
Your heart thing.
But yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
after that section comes Mr. Blue Sky. With the...
Oh my.
it's just...
Well,
it's great. It's great.
Wait, are our voices?
Your voice sensitivity is a bit too low. Well, whatever, it's fine.
Bruh.
Right.
Oh, I know what's happening now.
And then, nope. I know what's happening, nope.
Yeah, I understand what's happening. I know more than just manuals. Trust me.
Place the slide.
Trust me. You know what? You might start to lose the understanding of things after this.
Ah, that's
Hey,
right.
it's my part.
Hey,
Good
look,
fun.
it's your part.
I don't like it.
So this was done in like 1 or 2 days, right?
Oh no.
What's this?
Oh my god. Good lord.
Oh my.
Yeah,
The whole
this is
background.
That's just the whole background colored in. That's KDD. And then Pizza Pepper Ronald.
Very nice.
Yes.
Long arm.
That's
Kabusha's section.
This kills me inside every time I watch my part.
Melisma. Hi, Melisma, you're muted.
Melissa, I think I saw a random line.
Right, and this is mine.
Again.
Yeah. Also, the random line was my fault because I was transferring the icon to the signature that Melisma had, and I forgot to move the line.
And then there's just the 10,000 PF.
Yeah, just 10,000 clicks per frame right at the ending. So, yeah, that's that.
Anti-crystal.
No, not again.
Oh,
No. No.
Oh, I didn't get to write my name at the end there.
No. No.
Oh, well, I
Wait,
mean,
can we
your name
calculate
is
like
right
how
there.
fast
there we go.
Bosch is going in miles per hour?
Ah, copy pasted it over. Okay.
Yeah, just copy pasted all of our names over. That's fine.
Perfect.
I accidentally copied I.
Anyways, let's break this down a little bit now. Considering that rhythm isn't, yeah, whatever.
Let's just say he's paused and nobody can unpause it except Arkley.
Dab.
Haha.
Wait, what? Hang on, did I say... Yeah, I saved it. Okay, I just took a screenshot of the voice chat just to remember which one was on the chat. Alright, so let's start off but a lot more slowly. So we're gonna begin with. I actually didn't even talk about this section in the first track talk, so I'm gonna talk about it now.
I think you did a little bit.
Yeah, but not really in depth. So it starts off with a shoulder fling, which goes into like this slightly ever so ish janky pinch, which then throws him that way and then goes around in a loop.
Whoop-de-doo.
And then it goes into manual integration, I think, or whatever it is called.
I always thought it was a barrel roll.
Well, well, yeah, it is called a barrel roll, but like the general like style.
Do a barrel roll.
Didn't the voice actor for
Oh no, not
him die? Or is it? Who did Vicky voice again?
It's all pretty simple. It's just.
Oh yeah, I should probably just go back just so you can talk about this more.
That's the start of it. Yeah, it's nothing too special. Just trying to basically, I focused a lot on just keeping it in beat with the music, just doing things, couple of manual.
Yep.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this bit. It's a lot. It's a very nice manual part.
It is what it is, and then yeah, that's the end of that.
Yep, that's the end of that, and then it transitions to my part, which I kind of hate. It's just a bunch of lines just crammed into one area, and just hope that he lives. That was a toe transitioning like that, and then 10-point cannon up, throw him around. Another absolute chaos scramble of just dots, and then that was a transition into a tail manual, into a singularity, because I had to throw in a singularity in there or else it wasn't made. And then chucks it over. I stop my part with a no row, and then Melody starts her part. And this is actually when there used to be a rule to the track. There was a rule when it comes to track making where 1, you couldn't make him fall off the sled, and 2, you couldn't use LimeWire Advanced exclusive features like multipliers and stuff. Unfortunately, Melody did use LRA exclusive materials, so people couldn't actually join without LRA. But that wasn't too big of an issue, thankfully. So that was Melody's section. We now transition into iPi with perfectionism. There, granule goes up, interpolates into the other side of the line, and that's the end of iPi section. So we now go to Gavin's section, which is a lot more laid back, and also it's a lot more free flowing. As he proceeds to crash straight into a wall. Next section.
He runs into the wall and he goes through it. He ran into it. And then...
Just flip. So next part is Fozon with his just. What the hell, Fozon? I'm actually going to turn on.
Reminds me of Bullseye.
I'm actually going to turn on Hip Test because it's cool. So Jesus Christ, it's like it's a very minimalistic style. And I like it, and all these lines are hit. Of course, he gets all of those lines, so that's great. Goes up, hits it, and then starts twirling it around. And yeah, he just lands it. He just nails the manual like that because he can. So yeah, that's how that. This is how this part was made. He just balanced it out eventually, and it just works out. Hope, and then goes into there, and then goes across the Mount Boschmore. the reason why so this entire section is a throwback to Monumental, and the reason why you may notice that like Hanmin and my name are here, and Sheldon's all the way back there is because originally we had it was a minimum of 10 seconds and a maximum of 15 seconds, and then what I had to do was create, like, what they did was that they ended up splitting the parts, and they put the parts next to each other so they could actually fill in the entire 30 seconds. And the reason why I came in was because I did text here, so then I just became a part. But the thing is that I actually never told Kevin's about that, so Kevin wasn't very happy about the idea of having like having an entire part just taken up, but we got it. They got it in the end. So now this is for the surrender section. Excuse me for a second, I need to close the door. There we go, doors are closed. So yeah, that's for the surrender section. He's already explained it in the first part of this track talk. So now
he didn't really like it that much.
I mean, he was fine with it. He had fun in the end, though.
That invincible line just up the top, there actually isn't anything there, is there? It's just completely that green line up there.
Yeah, it's just there for the purpose of sync. It's just there
for the
Yeah. And then chucked it over with a good enough amount of speed for Toivo to have some fun. Because it goes from nice.
Toivo can have fun at any speed.
True. So like we have this section which is nice and casual, and then we just have Toivo that comes in and just does an unnecessarily perfectly balanced section with weird chains and things that we've never seen before. Because why the hell not?
It's also perfectly synced.
It is indeed perfectly synced. Like you cannot change that. Like there's some weird things that he's done here. Like that one right there. It's just bizarre.
We didn't go over that one last time.
Yeah, actually let's go over this entire thing then. So
in depth look at Toivo's part.
Yep, in depth. So we start. So he begins an extremely underbalanced manual. Well, like an extremely underbalanced manual with a broken up chain, basically. So he basically made a balanced chain there. It's those two for sync, and then another one over here. Spiraled to like that. Jesus Christ. Threw him across, back into another tail manual, and then flips him back into whatever squish position this is. and then he changed it into a nose manual, swapped it over into another one of these chains that I don't know how to explain. That is what the hell? But yeah, that's another one, I guess. And then what the heck? Is this that's a fling? That's a fling chain. Okay, nice. Yeah, sure.
Wait, that's a fling?
That's a fling. That's an
Toivo, please stop.
Wait, that's an ASTF fling as well, because he's actually he's alternating the pulling of the front two contact points, but it's also a chain in the back. Oh god, what the hell?
Toivo needs to stop.
ASDF chain.
The ASDF chain, yeah. Dude, just what the hell? What
makes a lot of sense.
ASDF chain dual. An ASDF dual chain. What is this? That's just another. That's just another alt fling that's made really pretty. And then of course he has to throw in the extremely pressured tail manual with the hand stuck out. And then he threw into a chain, another chain, another chain, another chain. This time the underbalance, the pressurized nose manual gonna be sooner or later when Toy will figures out how to do a hand manual.
Basically just sorrow, but unconnected.
And then goes into a singularity. Singularity becomes that section. Alright, whoever that was.
I won.
Starts with a K.
Nice. So now this is Anton's section as labeled by this gigantic text. And then this will continue on, goes around in a loop. Around, slammed into a cranial, exits. This is an Archimedes spiral that was... This Archimedes spiral was actually made by a program that Anton was talking about, and he actually just like said, "Hey, let's try seeing that works," and it does. So there you go. Now comes JC's part, which lasts for 2 seconds, and that's it. I don't think we have much to talk about. We don't have much to talk about this section, do we? So we now have Nev's section. Nev, so you like to talk. We like to talk about your section.
My section, it's yeah.
Good
description.
Is there anything that stands out?
Something that stands out.
It thinks.
This part actually.
He's the one who did it.
This?
A little bit back. This part actually for me because
this section.
Yeah, it was
like
certain thing. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it actually.
It's new. It's new for it. Did you figure out what the hell? You figured out a PLU? Holy crap!
Yes, I did.
You figured out the PLU. Congratulations. But yeah, that's PLU right there. If people don't know what a PLU is a previous line used, which basically, as you can see, this is the first line here, and then the next frame, that same line is being used, but differently. And essentially, PLU just references every single frame that this is happening on. So now we're going to, so yeah, now it goes into here. There's just people joining, leaving, joining, leaving, joining.
One guy joins, meets, and then leaves.
They're just here for the show.
Oh my god. Okay, fair enough. At least this is the trap talk and not the main exhibit. So this is, you added this section with the scenery line. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Yeah, it was just to give the sense of speed.
Fair enough, yeah. And there's the annual.
Annual on the... That's actually pretty synced.
It was...
I would say.
It was pretty synced.
It was pretty much synced. Until somebody noticed something that I'm not happy about. But
also fair notice, you could have actually made this annual even more violent, but I guess it works.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, you just like you weren't supposed to do like you. I'm not saying that this isn't how you make a handle, but to make a very strong nose handle, you just do only the string. So then the string goes to baking it out, baking it, baking it out, baking it over and over and over and over and over again. Anyways, Mr. Blue Sky section.
Great.
We immediately start off with 10-point cannons. Reason why? Oh yeah, I never actually explained this in the previous one. The reason why it says dedicated to Lunar Campling is because my girlfriend actually is working on a track known as the well-tempered 10-point cannon, and it relies on literally this trick, which is known as the 10-point cannon. And she's already done a ton on it, which is admirable. But anyways. Continuing on, this section, it's just a teleportation over here. Brings him down, teleports him again, brings him back up, teleports him again, this time into this position. Totally fine. only thing I can complain about.
Unhit lines?
Unhit lines, unhit lines, unhit lines, unhit lines.
Shit.
Next, I'm gonna yell at you.
The thing is, if you take out all those unhit lines, it's gonna look horrible.
Not only that, but it might not even work because anti-gravity wall issues. So throw that, goes across, searing lines. This is blue flame section, 10-point cannon. Of course, it has to be a 10-point cannon teleportation somewhere, of course. And then that was Cramiel, that goes across, eats across. This is now Shotoku's section.
Into spins.
Spins, lots of manuals, a lot of manual integration and barrel rolls. And shiny! Also, I gotta appreciate, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I gotta appreciate these abnormally irregular looking manuals. The things is that they also look extraordinarily smooth somehow out of all of this. I'm pretty sure Shotoku also did notice. Yeah, again, another one that's like with an alternating where is it? Yeah, there's like alternating like thicknesses of the angles, alternating angle variances, whatever. So shiny with his extremely powerful chains and stuff like that. Of course, Mule. It's kind of iconic for that. He actually needs some help with this section, so I went out quickly with Cramiel. He threw it into a Cramiel cannon, sends him up, does more chain stuff. That's really cool, and then this is fine. And then it goes across, gets sent across to the left.
My part.
Excuse me for a second.
Okay, so Matt, what do you want? Tell us about your part.
Well, this is probably going to be cut out of the video, but I don't like it.
You don't like your part?
I did it in 2 days.
So, I did my part in half an hour.
Yeah, I did. I think mine took about an hour or so.
I think every single one of my parts took... Okay, the first part took me a half an hour. The second part, which is what you're about to see above here, was done in 2 months.
Oh god.
What more time frames?
It was supposed to be 2 weeks, but because Kevin wasn't even hosting anymore, I was just like, yeah, I'll just drag this on for as long as I need. Nobody cares about the collaboration anymore, anyways. So anyway.
What do you mean? I care.
And then there's this.
Yeah, there's this section which I'm not going to talk about because I've already went into an extremely large amount of detail digging into this. But yeah, essentially a lot of this stuff was just Cramiel work.
Arc went at 10% of his power.
Yes. I will actually explain this section. Also, Kabushi, your mic is going insane. So this section, to explain how this works, this is essentially utilizing copy-paste. So what I did was that I zoomed in to 50% to 50 times zoom. Actually, no, I think I did like whatever. It's some amount of zoom. Did that? Delete this, and then fix the angle. I fixed the camera, undid, then I copy-pasted this. Then I went to the next 2 frames, deleted this, and I pasted it. So now these two are actually, so now I have 2 of these that are two different 10-point cannons in the same area, and which is why you can see how these are basically just 2 alternating different, 2 differently pointed 10-point cannons.
But you didn't delete the line.
Nope. Not at all. You can see the other remaining half of it being unhit.
I'm gonna yell at you.
You should recycle it.
No. But yeah, it just happened to make this really weird shape. I don't know why it made this weird shape, but it's actually kind of cool. So that was just all that was. Let me just do all that. Okay. And then into the next section. Did a spin at 45-degree increments, and then exited him but continued spinning it. This is a copy paste chain, which copy paste chain, which I will now explain how that works. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn on Superior Consequential Camera 4. And then I'm going to delete this line, and I'm going to do that. So now, what I'm doing here is that this thing here, when I copy and then paste it, it's always going to be pasted in the exact same area. And what this does is that it now I've locked onto the butt, and I've now also locked this in place. So what it does is that it forces basically a line connection between these two, and the angle will never change. Which means that these are basically the pivot points that the rest of Bosch is hanging on to, and because the two different points that are that is holding the rider in place, he stays permanently balanced. Well, I say that until he dies, but as you can see, he stays balanced because the angle stays the same. So it's basically a self-adjusting system.
What do you have? Okay.
Yeah, like when you were zoomed out, I realized that all of this track is really close together.
It's not close at all, actually. Just to give you a reference, this is one pixel that you see here is already 10 pixels normally. So this is one time zoom, and there's a lot of white space everywhere.
But still, compared to a lot of other tracks.
I mean, I guess that's true because it does resonate around the whole section, but still. So now that section, coming after that is KG section, which is pure green. In the video you will see it as in the full video you will see it as pure black, which is, and also without hit test or anything, so he just looks like he's just bouncing around. Let's see. But now we can actually see what's behind what's moving Bosch around behind all of that, because they are no longer hidden, and the scenery lines are now green. So there's a chain, then all that stuff continues on, the manual, that section, to spin. It's just a lot of fun manual stuff. And then into a pinch, and then entering into the Pepper-Ronald section. And well, I mean, it's not. Of course, there's a lot less. It's a lot more simplistic than everything else that we've seen in this entire collaboration. But because this collaboration was built for everybody, with the intention of letting everybody come into the collab, we basically allowed all people of all skill levels to do it. So, Kabusha, please explain your section.
So, I was at that phase where if it worked, it was fine, and I would just go on.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then there's just a stacked line.
There's just some random areas where it's just stacked line. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And then enters it, and then this is Melisma's section. Melisma is currently muted, even though he is indeed in the chat right now. So if you want to actually talk, if you want to see what he wanted to say about this section, you can actually go check out the first part of the track talk. because he was actually available. Also, that's part of his signature. So yeah. Anyways, continuing on. This is my section now. It just happened to fit right there. The singularity just happened to fit right there. Don't ask me how I figured that out. It just does. And then I made sure the rider stayed in the same area like that.
That looks like something in
Inhibition C. Yeah, it does actually. Probably because it probably wasn't actually a section there. So yeah, it was a spin. It's a spin, 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 spin into a flat sled section, and into a chain, and then an ASDF PLU, which I explained in the previous track talk. And then sends it spinning and I sent him in the chain that was accelerating him as much as I could. And then I went to this section, which then sends him flying over to the top right. Then it transitions into an alt fling, which transitions into an ASDF, and then into a section that was meant to be a throwback to two of my tracks, Bohemian Rhapsody and Corn Gold.
Cold Corn.
Yes, that was the other one.
Cold Corn. And then I did a really rapid spin because why not? Sent him up to the left. Made sure that the camera would go up and to the left, like that.
And then what's the speed right there?
10,209.8 pixels per frame. Yes, it was indeed a teleportation to get him all the way up to there. It was fun. So now it now teleports us to the ending. However, in the final edit, you will see that the text actually doesn't even appear here, and it's actually missing. Like, I'll just do part of it because I've already collaboration.
Just do it like this. If you want to see how this works, go to the first part.
Just go to the first part. You kind of get. I'll just give you an idea. So like basically, chuck. You could just pretend all of these lines you couldn't see. Goes down. This actually wasn't even here. These eye symbols weren't even here. So it goes down. Everything goes out of view, and then because of that, I was allowed to edit this in, and then boom, text appears, and yay, it's the ending. There's actually a section there's a section that I didn't actually discuss about in this part, which was in the previous track talk, which was that this is actually two anti-gravity walls, which is why these two lines are really big. The reason
I knew it.
But yeah, the reason why I did this was because without that, it kind of looks really weird like this, because it needs to stick out in order to actually stay in place. But with an anti-gravity wall, it's completely hidden behind. So this is everybody. This is everybody that collaborated in the track and the people who are actually on Mount Boschmore are the developers of the game, developers of Line Rider. It depends if you want to call it a game or not, or a physics simulation, or art medium, or a
art medium, yeah.
Or an art medium, yeah.
Gamification of an art medium.
Yeah. So, first person on the left is Fisk, who is the original creator of Line Rider. To the right of him is Conundrumer, who is currently developing the official version of Line Rider, which is limerider.com. Next person is Mehenner, which worked on Flash versions. Kevins, who I believe also worked on multiple Flash builds, and also his own version of Line Rider known as Open Line Rider, but it's no longer in development.
Operational.
It's officially no longer in development, unfortunately. And the last person to the most farthest to the right is JC, who is the developer of Line Rider Advanced, which is what this program is that I'm using right now. So yeah, this was.
Wait, you're using LR Luna.
Yes, technically the version, this very specific version of LRA that I'm using right now is known as LR Luna, which is a mod, which is also what allowed me to have all these camera functions, all these scenery lines, stuff like that. You can find the download in the on the Discord server, so feel free to join.
And then there's like Melisma, the Matt's Falk, and iPie.
Yeah, they're just there that happen to be exactly the same. Just happen to be exactly the same.
Actually, we needed one more. Then you could call them the Four Horsemen.
The Four Spiritrons. The four horses of the four horses of the apocalypse.
Of circles.
The circle of the circle police, whatever.
You need to have your logo 4 times.
just take my name and just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you can see that, like, yeah, it's just, that's how my name looks like.
Wait, why is it like that?
It's because that when you zoom out, the thickness of the lines doesn't change. As demoed with this as well.
It actually looks cool.
In fact, I'll actually zoom everybody's name out just to show you how everybody's name looks like.
Ah, well, I wrote my name with only 1 line, so it still looks okay. Wait, no, I didn't.
Same.
I'll make that.
Yeah, mine was.
Let me make that a bit bigger. So there you go.
What does my name look like?
What does your name look like? Where is your name? It's the only one that looks normal. And also Melissa's section also looks normal.
Yeah, what about mine?
Mr. Lusa actually looks normal. Kabusha surprisingly surprisingly normal-ish. Sheldon and Honeyman, somehow their names are still completely fine?
Almost.
You guys assume there's that more?
It is starting to break apart, but like it's still very well defined. There's no like spaces in between.
And Kevin.
And Kevin's, yeah. Well, not really, but yeah, Kevin's. Mostly from a zoom out perspective. Nev's actually kind of looks really cool with the aesthetical effects with these sections here.
Yeah.
I like that. I actually like this a lot. It's kind of cool. iPie.
Make it tiny.
Ooh, iPie.
How do people get those really like precise fonts? Is it just like tracing or?
Okay. I know iPie did tracing. iPie did tracing. Shiny did tracing. Tracing. Melissa, I'm pretty sure you just made a custom font for that. Matt, custom font. Melody, handwritten. Professor Render, handwritten.
Things like Sheldon and Kevin Sevens and stuff. They look very.
Yeah, there's like this one, and mine. These were using. What I did was that I used. It's the same thing that was used for this section here. This is actually the reason why it looks really weird in some areas like this. You can also see why it's XY and stuff like that. This is because this is using an importer called Eller Overlay made by Ali MBM. So yeah, that's why it looks kind of normal-ish. I'm actually gonna take Hahnemann's name and I'm just gonna see how much I can stretch it, because now that's now what this track talk is about.
We're now about stretching Hahnemann.
How far can you stretch it?
Good lord. Whoa, that's...
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool effect. That's an actually cool effect. I like that.
Let's do the same thing.
I might use
I like how Hahnemann has a much more bold one than Sheldon.
It still uses it with a billion lines.
It still uses a billion lines, valid. Gavin's the only other ooh, apologies on that. But Gavin's the only other person that also did this hand done, so that was kind of hilarious.
Mine was hand done.
Like, I mean as in like completely done by pencil. Oops, there you go.
That's the beginning.
Yeah, that's the beginning. Collaborators, that was written by hand. Pizza Pepperonald, that was also handwritten by me. This was also this is an Ella overlay text as well. You can tell based on how broken up certain areas are. But But the Mount Boschmore, this wasn't actually LO overlaid section. The text here wasn't LO overlaid. That was actually hand done because we didn't have an open source version of LO overlay at the time, which is surprising. It feels so normal to use LO overlay because everybody uses it now. Except you. Almost a lot of people use it. A lot of people use it. I'll say that. It's now very popularly used. But at the time, this was revolutionary because we didn't have it. LO overlay was still in development. So I think that should sum up everything. Actually.
Do we want to do a watch through without any guides on, or would say that for the YouTube video?
Let's say that for the YouTube video.
Wait, we have to go through like what everyone thinks about the track.
Of course. Yeah. So, well, I mean, we've already done a good amount of it. But let's do it again. Let's do it again, even if people already said their statements about this. So let's begin with H smiley face.
Well, just the track as a whole?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I sort of got back into Lime Rider just as this was starting, so it was cool it's cool to see it finally come together and finish up like this.
Very nice.
Were there first 2 collaborations, anything like this one? I haven't actually seen them. Well, like, in terms of, like, I don't know, scope of the collaboration, is this one bigger than the previous 2?
This is definitely bigger than the previous 2. This is a 5-minute long song. It's also synced, so
yeah, it's real. So that's all I have to say.
All right then, Matt.
Apart from my part, which I don't like, pretty much all of the track is nice, except for the fact that you had to flex on me.
Of course.
Also, don't forget to do your own thoughts on the
Kabusha?
Like what surprised me the most about it is that it flowed together pretty well. Except for like at the end.
Except for like at the end.
Not end like your part end, just like end like my
just
part.
Like around your area, yeah, I guess that's valid.
But yeah, like I said before, like the part I really liked the most was Gavin's part.
I don't know if Mac tonight has a mic, or if he wants to say anything.
I do.
Oh, you do? Alright. So, what do you got to say?
I think it looks amazing, especially because I'm kind of new to the game still, and I can't wait to see the video. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you're gonna say. Very nice.
Wait, when's release date?
When's the release date? I mean, we'll find out.
Wait, is it part of your like weekly, like the daily upload?
I'm not sure. We'll have to find out because again, legal copyright issues. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we're just gonna find out. Nevs.
It's a cool track. I like that everybody came together just to do this. I'm trying to make a statement without swearing, which is hard.
It's fine. It's the Shark Talk. Nobody gives a damn. I've probably sworn at least 3 times in this video, if not more.
I know, but still, I can be pretty vulgar, so I will keep it.
Fair enough then. Instaflare, I don't know if Instaflare wants to say anything or if they have a mic. If you don't have a mic, feel free to type it out. And, well, Xavier. I think it's cool. I made so much. Of course. But yeah, I think...
Xavier actually did this whole track.
Clearly. But yeah, anyways, that should sum it up for tonight, honestly. I need to get my homework done before my parents start to yell at me again. So that was this. As for my statement, I've actually never told about my statement. For me, I did really very much enjoy this entire track. It was admittedly like I don't usually do these tracks nowadays, considering I kind of now have a slightly higher standard on the quality of my tracks, but considering that this was opened up by Kevin's, who unfortunately left the community very before this Reddit collab actually got finished. Yeah, I eventually carried through the whole thing, and despite all the like delays and stuff like that, I think it actually came out fairly well for my expectations for this track. So I think that's actually all I really have to say for this track, because I didn't make much of this, so there have been a lot of people that were contributing to this track, and I'm actually surprised.
You had 4 parts.
I have 4 parts.
I didn't make much.
I didn't make much. Well, here's the thing. When I say retro in respect to like my other tracks, where I basically make 90% of the track, if not 100% of the track.
Yeah, okay.
Taro, 2 seconds. That is, and if anybody's wondering, yes, that is going to be a track talk. Anyways,
WTK2 went.
WTK2 is being edited. Don't worry about it. It's going to be coming.
I edited.
Wait, I want to say the last line.
Sure.
Stay tuned for number 4.
Yeah. So yeah.
Will there be a 4th one?
Perhaps. We'll have to find out. But yeah.
Number 4 at the end of 2022.
Probably, yeah.
It will take longer.
Probably.
Well, we'll just have to find out. But anyway.
We need to start building up the hype now.
I mean, I can always open it up in the tweet, but whatever. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the track talk. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and more in-depth. I don't have a script for this, because Hanman always says this, even though, but Hanman's not here, so I'm...
Subscribe for more track talk.
Subscribe for more track talks, tutorials, track releases, and more random shenanigans by Hanman, because he probably uploads random stuff occasionally, because why not? So yeah. Yeah. But anyways, have a good night, everyone.